and we're gonna cut that out with the "You ruined my dream journal!" Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. My name is Morgan M. Steele, I'm an author, and sometimes I have really weird dreams. So for basically as long as I can remember, I've always been able to remember my dreams. It's something that has been a pretty defined part of my personality. I'm a dreamer in both a literal and a figurative sense. I'm a writer, and I use my creativity every single day. And so, you know, these dreams and being able to remember them is something that has inspired my writing career. For example, the book I'm writing right now is based on a dream. A dream that I had that is in, it's actually in my dream journal. Okay, I found it. It's December 31st, 2021. There was a girl named Lillian in this little tourist trap town like Mackinac City. She was wearing a periwinkle dress and a big sun hat, and she had a yellow bike that needed to be repaired, so she took it to her friend Leo, who worked at a bike shop. These were not their real names. They were assigned by the town along with backstories to entertain the tourists over the summer. So that was the dream I had. I was Lillian in this dream. And, you know, taking my bike to the bike shop, and it was just, like, something that really, like, resonated with me. So some of these, like, when they're really, like, inspirational dreams like that, I put a little star next to them if I think they're worth, like, using in one of my stories, and that is one of them, and I'm, like, almost done writing that book. So I think it's so weird that so many of us spend, like, a third of our time dreaming and sleeping, and we barely ever, like, talk about our dreams, and so I wanted to today. Since the 14th of June in 2021, I've been keeping a very steady dream journal, which means that in 3 months' time, I'll have 2 whole years of dreams written down. And I do have a physical dream journal.
He ruined my dream journal! I did not!
So every morning, it's part of my routine. I wake up, I sit in bed for a while, I write every single dream that I can remember. At least, I want to say like 95% of the time I remember at least one dream, but most nights I remember like more than that, like 2 or 3, sometimes 4. Like last night I remembered 4 of them. And so I just, you know, write them down. If it's a really interesting dream I have like in the middle of the night, because sometimes I have to wake up to go pee, you know? And so I'll wake up and I'll stay up for a little while and write down those dreams, because if I go back to sleep, then I will forget them, and sometimes they're worth saving. So my handwriting in this is very sloppy. Very early. That page actually wasn't too bad. Very early in the morning. So yeah, I have 3 of these things filled. Today we're going to look at the highlights from volume 1, which is this book. It stretches from June 2021 to January 2022. This size journal lasts me about 6-ish months. Yeah, the one I'm writing right now is a little skinnier, so it'll be interesting to see how long that lasts. Because I used to get these at Barnes & Noble, and they don't usually have them anymore. So it's really sad for me. But yeah, so some of these are funny. Some of them I thought were cool. Some of them are really scary. So just like as a heads up, I'll put like a content warning as to what's coming. June 24th, 2021. There was a weird hotel-like second level of Walgreens, and I went up there with someone. There was a pocket dimension in my purse, and I could take people in there. The dream fell apart because I saw a zombie, became lucid, and then a llama started eating my arm. I don't remember that at all. So a theme that is very common in my dreams, I'm really afraid of zombies. I don't know why. Like when I'm lucid, and I can do a whole video about lucid dreaming if you want me to. When I'm lucid, it's like anything you think about manifests, and so if I get like an intrusive thought about like, oh, a zombie, like boom, zombie apocalypse. And so that's something that happens like a lot in my dreams. You might notice that as a pattern. July 1st, 2021. I was playing Fiona in Xavier School's production of Shrek the Musical. July 5th, 2021. Danny DeVito got in a fight with his clone, IDK. That's a direct quote. That's what it says. July 6th, 2021. I lived in a world where everyone was a different type of greeting card. I was a Christmas card, and I was in love with a Happy Holidays card. But the card police were after me because I escaped from where they were holding me captive, and they found me hiding with a family of Valentine's Day cards. That could be like a whole thing. July 8th, 2021. I was at my high school performing a musical with the children of Greek gods. I was the child of Apollo, and another child of Apollo, a young boy, gave me a dagger made of sunshine. July 23rd, 2021. There were a bunch of dogs I was petting, but I was stressed out because I'm allergic to dogs. I am indeed allergic to dogs in real life. My own puppy is hypoallergenic for that very reason. July 25th, 2021, I was a teacher at a school for superheroes and I had pink force field powers. Someone broke into the school, so I had to protect my kids. Their parents were all superheroes and some of them were being mind controlled by some of the other parents. It's given Sky High vibes. July 26th, 2021, the day after the last one, I had to steal plans for something from the mafia, who I guess I had history with, and I was driving back to my college and they blew up the bridge right before I got on it. July 29th, 2021, I was working at 7-Eleven, which was also a classroom for some reason. I had to take a test, but the answers kept changing before I could answer them. I was still in school at this point because I graduated in 2022. So this would have been like right before my senior year of college. August 2nd, 2021, I had a haunted porcelain doll in my room and she had really bad energy and these girls wanted to buy her from me, but I told them they couldn't because the doll was probably cursed. August 4th, 2021, I was in the Avatar: The Last Airbender world and I was a bender but of non-elemental forces like light, darkness, sound, and gravity. Zuko and Sokka were there and I took Sokka on an adventure that twisted time, so I had to set it right. August 6th, 2021, I was a witch and I had a niece and nephew, Jed and Octavius from Night at the Museum, the little guys, got kidnapped, so we had to go save them with my broom. When we got back to base, they kidnapped my sister and her husband, and the Lord of Light wanted me to marry him because I was his dark fairy. I don't have a niece or a nephew, nor do I have a sister, so I don't know where any of that came from, and I also don't know, like, who the Lord of Light is, and I don't know what being his dark fairy means. You're gonna have to take that up with my subconscious. I don't know. August 9th, 2021, people were making drugs in my house, so we had to blow it up. Logical. The toilet was clogged though, so I decided to take care of that first. Oh, this is one of the scary ones. Okay. August 13th, 2020. Was that a Friday the 13th? I'm gonna click all the way back on my calendar. August, I said? August 13th. It was Friday the 13th. Oh, okay. Alright. Ooh. Friday, August 13th, 2021, I met my muse, who took the form of Boo Boo Stewart in a blue flannel and a gray beanie. He was eating a crunchy snack. That part's fine. Immediately after this, I was dating a blonde guy, and I was sitting in his lap, the lights flicked off, and a bunch of the girls that were in the room with us were suddenly, like, dead and bleeding. And then he choked me to death, and I tried to wake up, but I couldn't until I died. When I tried to go back to sleep after that, I had, like, really bad sleep paralysis. I remember that one. That one is, like, traumatic, and I think it's weird that I can have trauma from something that didn't actually happen to me. I've never been strangled in real life. Count my blessings, I've never been strangled in real life, but I vividly remember that dream, and I vividly remember, like, sitting in that room, and he just, like, had me, and was strangling me to death, and I remember, what is it? The Evanescence song that's like, wake me up, wake me. That was like playing in the dream. And I was trying to wake up because you know how in Shark Boy and Lava Girl, they like teach Max at the end of it that like he can blink 3 times and wake himself up. I used to do that when I was a kid and it worked. Like I would blink 3 times and I would hold the last one for like a really, really long time. And when I opened my eyes, I would be awake again. And I've been doing that ever since then. It's just something that works for me to wake me up from my dreams. I tried in this dream and the music just got louder and it just hurt more and it was like so scary. And there was another really awful nightmare I had. I can make another video about that one, but I vividly remember dying in that dream too, and that one is also pretty traumatic because, again, like nothing like that has ever happened to me in real life, but I still remember it like vividly in my dream. I don't know, I'd have to like look into if you can get trauma from dreams, because I mean, it's not like as real as my real life trauma, but I do still like remember it. It's still like burned into my brain. And it's something that my subconscious thinks I experienced, so that's fun. August 31st, 2021, I had a little sister named Rosie, and I took her out for boba. Daniel Radcliffe was there autographing things for some reason. September 11th, 2021, what a day. Lady Gaga was running a radioactive zombie nightclub in the midst of the zombie apocalypse. Good for her. September 18th, 2021, Roderick Heffley was taking me to prom, and we were going on a double date with my friend and his date. My friend was freaking out because he wanted to go somewhere really nice, but the rest of us just wanted to go to Taco Bell. That is like on brand for Roderick, I think. I haven't seen those movies in a while. September 26th, 2021, worst sleep paralysis I've had in my life. I felt like someone was sitting on top of my chest and strangling me. Lots of hallucinations, very scary. 0 out of 10, would not recommend. I do remember that too, because it feels like I was, like when you have sleep paralysis, it's like the opposite of sleepwalking. So when you are sleepwalking, your brain is still asleep, but your body is awake. When you're asleep, your brain is supposed to paralyze the rest of your body so that you don't get up and sleepwalk. So sleep paralysis is the opposite. Your body is still paralyzed from being asleep, but your brain is awake and you can move your eyes. Because when you're in rapid eye movement, like your eyes are moving, that's how you dream. And so you can like open your eyes when you have sleep paralysis, and then, you know, because you're still like kind of trapped between asleep and awake, you hallucinate, which is really scary. And so sometimes I'll have like visual hallucinations that I can like see, and sometimes if I'm wearing like my sleep mask, which I wear because I hallucinate visually, I'll get like audio hallucinations. Like specifically I'll get like a really, really, really loud bell ringing in my ear. I used to get this every time I tried to nap in my dorm in college. Like it was awful. October 4th, 2021, I was being pursued romantically by this guy, but we were both spies and I didn't trust him at all, and I told him he'd have to earn my trust. October 10th, 2021, Jimmy Kimmel died. Aww. Don't know what that's about. October 14th, 2021, I was on prom court for some reason and had to walk around the whole stadium with the rest of the court. Everyone else was paired up, but I was all alone and my shoes fell off. I was never on a royal court in high school. I don't know, I kind of wanted to be, but I never got nominated, so. October 20th, 2021, I went to Disney World, but it was terrifying for some reason. That Ariel animatronic was blonde and kept changing faces when I wasn't looking. Also, the park was underwater, so you had to swim from building to building. Like, it wasn't like fully underwater, but it was all water like between the buildings. I remember that much. I get real life, what is it called? Uncanny Valley from the Ariel animatronic. I've seen her in real life. She terrifies me. I think it's something about the fake hair movement, and also like her proportions are like so not human, but she's human shaped. Like her massive, like terrifying eyes. She gives me the ick IRL, so it's not surprising that I would have nightmares about her. October 29th, 2021, I was half witch and half werewolf, but there was a war between the werewolves and the witches, which was very not good for me. November 18th, 2021, Wanda and Pietro were being recruited to the Avengers, and I had to help Wanda pick out something to wear, but my closet was broken. It was a big automated one, like the one in iCarly, but all it would give us were Christmas clothes. Very helpful. November 19th, 2021, I started to have a nightmare about Slappy the Dummy. He is one of my recurring nightmare villains. He shows up all the time. I hate him. So I started to have a nightmare about Slappy the Dummy, but I realized it was a dream, and I told him, "You can't scare me here. This is my domain. I'm a god." Those were my exact words verbatim. That's powerful. November 21st, 2021, we're getting to the seasonal dreams. I was Scott Calvin's daughter, but I was also the guardian of the North Pole, aka Aurora Borealis. Bernard had a hard time keeping me in check. I remember having like Northern Lights powers, you know, because Aurora Borealis. December 3rd, 2021, I was an Eternal, and I was in a poly relationship with Druig and Makari. Don't we all want that, baby? December 7th, 2021, I worked for the TVA and left, and I was on the run with some other girls, but one of them was a traitor and was trying to make us go back. December 12th, 2021, this is my birthday. I was a pro wrestler, and my gimmick was that I was a siren that used my powers to force the other people to fight each other. That's pretty cool. December 13th, 2021, Taylor Swift. That's all it says. I think this is because I had the flu that birthday because, I don't know, we'll keep this in the video. My ex-boyfriend gave it to me. We were almost dating at the time, and he knew he was really sick, and he still let me come over anyway, and I got the flu on my birthday. So thank you for that. So I really didn't get that much sleep the night of because my birthday was the day I was like coming down with it. I was like fine until I wasn't. December 18th, 2021, I had a witch ancestor, and she was teaching me how to cast magic with a harp. Cool. December 24th, 2021, I worked at the museum from Night at the Museum, and there was a party going on. I was friends with the knights from the medieval exhibit. Also, Akhman Ra and I were in a relationship. He's really hot, don't judge me. This one's hilarious. December 26th, 2021, a very f***ed up version of the movie Flushed Away. If you've seen it, it's already pretty f***ed up. There was a human-sized rat cop going to arrest the main mouse from the movie, and he had a girlfriend mouse who was actually a naked mole rat with a tattoo of Andrew Garfield on her forehead. So there's that. Oh, this is another scary one. December 27th, 2021, there were little red lasers coming through the window, and there were planes flying really low. One of them dropped a bomb on the neighbor's house, and I had to wake up my family and get everyone out of the house before it went off. I left my phone, but I couldn't go back for it. When we got outside, it was a volcanic wasteland. December 30th, 2021, werewolves that were all really obsessed with Spider-Man for some reason, question mark, question mark, question mark. January 1st, 2022, my two roommates and I were the last survivors from a zombie apocalypse that wiped out the rest of the planet. We were saved by friendly aliens, but as it turned out, one of my roommates was infected and didn't tell us, and then she bit me, and I had to eject myself in an escape pod to protect the aliens. That one sucked. I remember that one too, and I remember like, it was weird, like on this alien spaceship, I think, they had little ponds by their feet, and there were like fish in the ponds, and like right after my roommate bit me, one of the fish bit me too, and I was like, oh, now that fish is infected, and it was just like you're gonna have to clear out all of this water, and like I was like trying to tell them how to stop the spread of the infection. You know, they were like, no, it's fine, like we have good disinfectants. I was like, no, you don't understand, like this is gonna like tear your whole planet apart. I'm so sorry. Like, I hope they were okay. January 2nd, 2022. I was an Avenger, and Thanos was coming to take the Infinity Stones. I had one around my neck, but it was pink, and it was called the Dream Stone. It was more powerful than the rest of the stones, so I used it to take the Reality Stone, the Time Stone, and the Space Stone from him. I had white hair, and I was a badass. That sounds cool. January 4th, 2022, I was a fairy and went to Neverland to find Peter Pan, and I got there, and it was very underwhelming, and he was just using me because he needed attention. That checks out. January 5th. 2022. I was in this Skyrim-ish world, and it was all an elaborate series of underground tunnels. There were bandits roaming around, and I had to run from them. There were also Dementor-looking ghosties that were really scary, and one of them killed me. This random guy dumped his cursed armor on me. I kind of remember that. I remember being like mad at him. I was like, why would you do that? And then I died after that. Like, it wasn't written in order. And then finally, January 6th, 2022, I dreamt about writing in this very dream journal. We've come full circle. So yeah, those were some of what I deem the more notable of the dreams I recorded. I could definitely keep going at some point. This was just really like skimming the surface of this thing. I cut out a lot because there were a lot that were repetitive. I dream about the X-Men a lot, unsurprisingly. That's an X-Men poster up there. There were a ton of those dreams. I dreamed about Bernard the Elf a lot and like the North Pole because I was watching the Santa Claus movies a lot. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what all of these mean. I do know what some of them mean. Like the one with the roommate biting me in the zombie apocalypse, that was because like I was worried about getting COVID from her because she had kind of lied about being sick. And I think that is how my subconscious kind of translated that, was like, oh, like she's lying about being infected. And it's like, you know, kind of the same thing. I have 2 more of these journals that are full, and then another that's like, it's almost half full. It's like on my nightstand back there, so I'm like squinting. So I could like keep going. This could be a little unpacking we do every 6 months or so when I fill up a journal. But yeah, I can also talk about my lucid dreaming experiences. I've been lucid dreaming since I was about 12, and I could go into like how you do that kind of thing. Or even like remembering your dreams, because I know there are a lot of people that like don't remember theirs, and you can train yourself to start remembering them. if you want to. You don't have to, but I think it's kind of fun. Do you have any weird dreams that you remember? Like, what's the weirdest dream you've had? Leave them in the comments below. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more of this content, and that's gonna be it for this video. Remember, take your meds, drink your water.
He ruined my dream journal! I did not! Mr. Electric sent